So the Survivors of the Void DLC for Risk of Rain 2 is out, and there's a whole host of different changes. But today we're going to be talking about the 14 new Void items, what they do, and then ranking them. So let's start out by looking at Tougher Times Corrupted Void item.
Oi, teddy bears! Block the next source of damage, corrupts all Tougher Times. Ooh. Very nice. I like that.
Safer spaces. Instead of actually blocking damage a percent chance, this one turns it into blocks incoming damage once, which then recharges after 15 seconds. It stacks just like the teddy bear's Tougher Times. Next up, we have the Needle Tick.
It's tri-tip? Oh, that's tri-tip? Okay, we're gonna take that. For sure then.
A 10% chance to collapse an enemy for 400% base damage, and it corrupts all tri-tip daggers. So what the Needle Tick does is there's a 10% chance to collapse an enemy for 400% base damage, and this is the corrupted version of the tri-tip dagger. Essentially, you apply collapse, and then 3 seconds after you apply it, all of the stacks will immediately do that base damage that it's supposed to do. Now, unlike the tri-tip dagger, this does not refresh every time you proc a new collapse debuff. So they're kind of like the old tri-tip dagger, but they have the benefit of doing it all in a single burst. Next up, we have the Lost Sears lenses. This is the corrupted version of the lens maker's glasses. Your attacks have a 0.5% plus 0.5% per stack chance to instantly kill a non-boss enemy. And essentially, you can stack these as much as you want, infinitely, unlike the lens maker's glasses, and have an increased chance to instantly kill an enemy. Now, I think there is a hard cap, so saying infinitely was kind of a cap. I don't know what the cap is, but people have told me that there is a cap, so I'm just going to assume that there probably is a cap. You probably can't get to 100%. But regardless, this is a very powerful item. Now, instantly kill a non-boss enemy, I think only counts the teleporter bosses and Mithrix as a non-boss enemy. I think very few enemies in the game are actually boss enemies. I'm not exactly sure. I think the Alloyed Warship Unit, Mithrix, maybe Rally Knight, I haven't tested him, and all teleporter bosses are immune to this effect. But if, for example, there's just a random Stone Titan spawned in the map, that can be instantly killed with the Lost Sears lenses. So as long as it doesn't come from the teleporter, it seems to be able to instantly kill.
Whoa. It insta-kills? Okay, I take it back. Lost Sears lenses are the best items in the game. Well, by far and above the best item in the game. No way. Wongus? Heal while sprint. I lost.
Next up, we have the Wongus. Heal for 2% plus 2% per stack of your health every second while sprinting. Obviously, corrupted version of the Bustling Fungus. Now, this item does not care how fast you're sprinting. It's not like the Little Disciple where the heal rate increases with your movement speed. It's literally just 2% of your health every second. So just alternate version of Bungus.
Oh, the Crusted Key.
Next up, we have the Encrusted Key. A hidden cache containing an item 60%, 30%, and 10% will appear in a random location on each stage. Open the cache, consumes the item, corrupts all rusted keys. Now, essentially, this is just the busted key, but it will only pop out corrupted items. But the cool thing about this versus the busted key is that you can choose one of 3 items. It's kind of like the Simulacrum, where you get a 3-item choice. But it doesn't always happen. Sometimes the corrupted key will make you only pick 1. I'm not sure why, but sometimes you can choose out of 3, and sometimes it only shoots 1 out, regardless.
So it's probably better to just... What is this? Oh, it's my crusty key.
Now for the Polyloot. The Polyloot, obviously the corrupted version of the ukulele, 25% chance to fire lightning for 60% total damage up to 3 plus 3 per stack times. Now what this means is that instead of chain lightning to other enemies around it, it will only chain lightning to itself. So it's a single target damage item now. Now the Singularity Band, a corrupted version of both Renault's and Kajaro's, so both of those items are put into this one. So if you pick up the Singularity Band, both Your Renalds and your Kajaro stacks will be turned into this band. It does the exact same thing that the regular Kajaro's does. Hits that deal more than 400% damage also fire, and then this is where it changes. A black hole that draws enemies within 15 meters to its center. Lasts 5 seconds before collapsing, dealing 100% plus 100% per stack total damage. Recharges every 20 seconds. Now, as you can see, this is 10 seconds more than the Renalds and Kajaros. It also takes 5 seconds before collapsing. It deals a tremendously smaller amount of damage. The one good thing about it is that the AoE, the black hole that kind of pulls in enemies, is pretty large. So it's going to be an AoE item, way more so than a Kajaro's, and definitely more so than a Renalds that can only hit one enemy. So whereas the Ukulele turns into a single target, the Singularity Band turns the other two bands into an AoE.
Oh my god.
The Lysium Cell. This is the corrupted version of a fuel cell. Add 1 plus 1 per snack charge of your special skill. This is similar to the fuel cell, obviously, where it gives you plus another stack, but the one difference is it doesn't give you a cooldown reduction on your special ability. So for any of you thinking that you're going to have infinite special abilities, not quite. Also, I've heard that this only stacks one time on the engineer, so you can only have 3 turrets up on the engineer, and that's a hard cap. From what I've heard, I haven't tested that out myself. That's just what multiple people have said, so I think that's true.
Okay. We are back in business. I mean, we were never out of business, but Jesus.
Next up, we have the Void Sent Flame, the corrupted version of the Will-O-the-Wisps. Upon hitting an enemy above 90% health, spawn a lava pillar in a 12 meter plus 2.4 meter per stack radius for 350% damage plus 280% per stack base damage. Basically the exact same thing that the Will-O-the-Wisp does, but it does it to 90% health enemies. That's it. That's the difference. Plasma Shrimp. Gain a shield equal to 10% of your maximum health. While you have a shield, hitting an enemy fires a missile that deals 40% plus 50% per stack total damage, corrupts all ATG missiles. The Tenta Bubble. Corrupts all Chrono Bobbles. Now people are raving about this one. 5% plus 5% per stack chance on hit to root enemies for 1 second plus 1 second per stack. So instead of the Chrono Bobble, where it's an on-hit slow and there's no chance in it, this one gives you a chance to root enemies for an increased duration depending on how many stacks you have.
There's no fucking shot. I'm mauled. I'm picking this up, not because it's good. This is dog shit here, okay? I'm picking this up because I haven't gotten this fucking item all game. All goddamn day.
Now we have the Benthic Bloom. Upgrades 3 plus 3 per stack random items to the item of the next rarity at the start of each stage. Corrupts all 57 leaf clovers. So basically how the Benthic Bloom works is it chooses random items. It does not care what item it is, and it upgrades them to the next rarity. It just chooses 3, depending on how many stacks you have, out of your inventory randomly to the next level. So for example, if you had only white items, it would choose 3 out of those white items, and 3 of your items would now be greens by going to the next stage. And then to the next stage, that would do similar things, except now you could maybe have a red item in the next stage. Keep in mind that if you go to portals, for example, the blue portal, you go to Newt, it will upgrade there. And then if you leave Newt, it will upgrade again. So you technically get 2 upgrades for the cost of 1. And if you go to a celestial portal, same thing.
Your time. Ooh, new item. Get a corrupted extra life consumed on use. Corrupts all Dio's best friends. Ooh, it's a Dio's friend.
Now the pluripotent larva corrupts all Dio's best friends. Upon death, this item will be consumed and you will return to life with 3 seconds of invulnerability, and all of your items that can be corrupted will be. So basically what this means is exactly what it says. It's Dio's best friend, but every single item in your inventory that can be corrupted is going to be turned into a corrupted version. And there's really no way of getting rid of corrupted items without running a certain build. It's kind of a spoiler, so I won't ruin it for you. But be very careful when picking up this item because it will corrupt all of your items if you do accidentally die. Could ruin a run. And then we have this last void item here. Now this is the newly hatched Zoe. This item is currently bugged and you cannot get it in a normal way. However, I have actually gotten it. This item drops from Void Devastators, but apparently the Trophy Hunter's Tricorn, the item that gives you a free boss item, does not work on it. And apparently it will not drop from the Void Devastator, even naturally. The only way to get it is to have the Corrupted Dio's best friend, the Pluripotent Larva, and then also having a yellow item in your inventory. But you don't get the logbook entry if you do it this way, so there you go. Also, bonus, this item is also bugged. You can't get this naturally either, but I have also gotten it. So yeah, I'm kind of goated like that. Yeah, and now that that part's done, here is my official Void item tier list. This is my initial one. This is just off of playing for like less than a week and have only gotten some of these items like once or twice. The ones I am most torn on are the Shrimp, the Lost Sears lenses, the Needle Stick, and the Singularity Band. Everything else I'm kind of good on, but those items I was kind of like, is it goated? Is it not? Is it cracked? I can't really tell by just looking at them a couple times, especially since most of my runs have been God runs, so it's just like, it's a collection of things. Also, this list is super general. This isn't for everyone. Not everyone is good with the Lysate Cell. I mean, some people can't use it, like the Void Fiend, for example. I might come out with tier lists for certain survivors that might be in a character guide for each of them. And I'm definitely going to be doing an item tier list for other items that might include the Void items when I have a more concrete understanding of each. Go make sure to check out the other videos. We have like a billion videos coming for the new patch, so hoggies. This is SwagBunny69 signing out.